Mickey Mement Mori Peterson's poker dream began when he saw a fellow Dane win a tournament on the World Poker Tour. He started his career online, where he found quick success in multi-table tournaments at every level. Soon after, Mickey was chasing the dream, traveling the world playing live poker tournaments, forming a number of important, life-changing friendships along the way.
My name is Mickey Peterson. I go by the online screen name mement, and I'm part of PokerStars Team Online. My main games are multi-table tournaments. I play pretty much all the stakes, anywhere from $1 tournaments and up to 1,000. I usually play around somewhere between 16 and 25 tables. I like to have a lot of tables going at the same time. One of my first experiences with poker was watching a bunch of the World Poker Tour episodes. They were airing at the time in Denmark, and Gus Hansen was in one of the episodes and ended up winning it all.
The river is a
not going to do it.
Gus Hansen has won this tournament.
That was like a huge inspiration to me, like seeing another Dane having so much success in these tournaments, and that's kind of where like my poker dream started. Since I didn't have a lot of expenses, it seemed like giving poker a shot, that would be a fun thing to do. What ended up happening was I had a really, really good year. I made a lot more than I would have done, in a random retail job. And during that time, I also won a couple of satellites to some live events, and that enabled me to do the traveling part as well. It's hard for me to even remember how many countries I've been able to go to because of all these poker tournaments. I mean, I had originally started out watching it on TV, and it was like, now I was one of those guys, competing in those big tournaments. So that aspect of it was really exciting to me, like chasing the big score.
Customer service update message. We currently have no service operating on all lines.
When you travel to these live tournaments, there are a group of people that you get to know, because you're all going all over the world and you don't really know anyone there, besides each other. So that bond that you get is something I find fairly unique, because everyone has a different background and a different, nationality and story, but it's sort of like everyone is there for the poker. We all have that in common.
I met Mickey through online poker. I pester him occasionally with questions about the intricacies of staking, transferring money, hand histories. He mainly tells me to fold. I would have folded pre, but it's useful. It's useful having him there on Skype to ring occasionally and pester. But you're always playing so many tables, so sometimes it's hard to get through to you.
Sam and Dan are two people that I've met through both talking to them online and at various live tournaments, and they both live in London, so I hang out with them from time to time.
We all knew each other from online, we played each other, but Mickey was famous worldwide, I guess, in the online community. And then, so yeah, we just had a few beers and had a laugh, and then we became mates on Facebook and AIM.
You can have people that you see face to face every day. Remember, before, obviously we've all done other jobs, and they work in your office, but you don't have any kind of banter or talk about anything real or deep with them.
There are people that you get really good relationships, and you say, look, we'll meet in this tournament, and then when other stuff happens, let's go out for New Year or whatever, people make, the extra effort, and there is the possibility to form real friendships. And
some of us use social media to tap up girls, don't we, Mickey? I mean, that does happen.
They're all about it, yeah.
I mean, that does happen, I've heard.
The most important person I've met through all of these sort of online channels would definitely be my girlfriend, Elena.
But I'm your small boy.
Okay. Mickey and I met online. We had been sort of chatting for a while on Skype and Facebook and things like that. And then after he played PCA in the Bahamas last year, he decided to come to the US. And that was the first time we met. And yeah, we just hit it off really well. And Mickey came back in March, and that's when we started sort of officially dating, I guess.
I was definitely a little nervous going over here the first time because it's always, you know, you never know what's going to happen with someone, even though you've talked a lot online and you haven't met them in person. But at the same time, it sort of just felt like, you know, what's the worst that can happen? And you know, it's going to be a good story regardless. So I decided to go, and it turned out to be a really good decision.
Technically, I guess you could call our relationship a long-distance relationship, but it doesn't really feel like that to me, just because we're able to see each other so much. You know, he's able to come visit here a lot, and I went to see him in London. We just, you know, sort of try to have little vacations with each other when we can.
It's not like I was looking for a girlfriend, you know, on the online message boards or in the poker community, but I mean, it was just a great bonus, I suppose. For me, there's definitely a certain amount of satisfaction you get from winning a tournament, and that's regardless if the buy-in is $5 or $1,000. It's not even about that, but just that you beat out all the other players who entered. There's a certain sense of satisfaction in that for me I don't really get from playing anything else like cash games or sit and goes. My biggest breakthrough in live tournaments came this February when I won EPT Copenhagen for 2.5 million Danish crowns.
This is the hand. It's a 5, and that's it. That ends the tournament. Mickey Peterson has finally done it for the second time on the European Poker Tour. Pierre Neville is a runner-up.
Winning that on home turf was just like amazing. For me, that was probably like one of the best tournaments I could win. It was like on the front page of like my local newspaper back at home that my parents could see, and like it was like all my friends had read about it and stuff like that.
Copenhagen's quite known for being quite hard with Scandis.
It's one of the toughest EPTs.
So. It's not like you were.
What was that, Mickey? Speak up. Speak up. The cameras. What was that you said?
It's not
one
like
of the
it was,
toughest EPTs. You just want to make sure that's on.
Like,
you want to make sure that's in your video.
It's not San Remo, Liv. It's not San Remo.
Obviously, after watching all these shows and after watching Gus Hansen in the WPT, like ever since that, I've been kind of chasing the dream of winning one of those big live tournaments. So when it was finally me that won, that was a very special moment for me. It was sort of like all of that stuff sort of got fulfilled at that moment. And actually, the next day, Gus Hansen sent me a message on Facebook saying congratulations. So that felt pretty nice. For me, poker has definitely like opened up the world a lot to me. Like it's enabled me to go and see places and meet people, and it's given me like a lot of freedom to do these things. I've been able to interact with so many people that if I hadn't been in poker, I would have no shot, you know, ever meeting. So that part of it has like been really great for me.